go. And here we go. Can't see that. It's going too far away. Go. Okay. So thank you so very much for coming today. My name is Jean Brandt. I am an RN and I'm also an Eden Energy Medicine practitioner, certified practitioner. So I first became introduced to Eden Energy Medicine as a client, and then I became a practitioner. I had been a client for about 2 years, and then my practitioner convinced me to become a practitioner, and it has easily been one of the best decisions of my life. It's been the most empowering thing for me to be able to take my own health into my own hands, and it's been very empowering for me to help other people to control their health. So first, a little bit of housekeeping. If you wouldn't mind silencing your phones. If you need to use the bathrooms, they're out the door to the right. And I'm happy with questions during the talk as long as we don't get too far behind. If we do start to get behind during the talk, I will ask you to hold your questions until later, and I am happy to stay later for those questions. So my subject today is common stress and anxiety with Eden Energy Medicine, and I'm going to be talking about what stress is. I'm going to be talking about how it affects the body. I'm going to talk about Eden Energy Medicine. I'm going to talk about grounding, and I'm going to teach you 6 exercises to help calm stress and anxiety. So first we're going to talk about stress. Stress causes both physical and emotional distress. It can contribute to long-term health outcomes. How does stress affect you? First of all, in the short term, it increases your heart rate, your breathing rate, and your blood pressure. They all go up. Physical symptoms in the short term include headaches, muscle tension, digestive issues, pain, problems sleeping, and changes in appetite. Our body goes into a fight, flight, or freeze. Many of you have probably heard of this. So many years ago, when we were faced with the stress, most of that time that stress was a wild animal that was going to come after us, and we weren't going to stop and think, what should I do now that I've got this saber-toothed tiger chasing me? So, but our bodies react the same way right now. The blood goes to our muscles so that we can fight or flight this dangerous animal. So just checking, has anyone been chased by a saber-toothed tiger recently? Awesome, good to hear. You may have heard, though, that in northern Wisconsin, we did have a man who was attacked by a bear in last month. And you can bet that his fight and flight were in full-blown mode. So stress has been called unrelenting public health enemy number 1. Anxiety often accompanies chronic stress. And in the United States, bless you, long-term stress, unmanaged long-term stress, contributes to 6 of the leading causes of death in the United States: heart disease, cancer, lung disease, accidents, cirrhosis of the liver, and suicide. Anxiety often accompanies chronic stress. Anxiety can interfere with your ability to get a good night's sleep, make good decisions, or think clearly. We have a lot going on in our world today that are causing potential anxiety or stress. We've got gun violence, financial concerns, and a lot of political divisiveness. Long-term stress can lead to several medical conditions, including depression, chronic fatigue, obesity, high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. One study actually found that unmanaged stress is a greater contributor for heart disease and cancer than cigarette smoking is, which blew me away pretty much. So on an energetic level, chronic stress brings about an imbalance between two key components of your energy system, the triple warmer and spleen meridians. So first of all, what in the world is a meridian? A meridian is a pathway. It's an energy pathway that energy flows from one part of your body to another part of your body. It's like our blood vessels carry our blood, the arteries and veins carry the blood to different parts of our body to bring that nourishing blood to us, to our organ systems and wherever we need that blood. The triple warmer is part of that fight, flight, or freeze. It's part of our survival mechanism. Our triple warmer meridian starts at our ring finger. It goes up the outside of the arm, shoulders, behind the ear, and it ends in the temple. Two of the exercises today that we're going to learn work with different parts of that pathway. The spleen meridian is kind of like the opposite. It's on the opposite end of the triple warmer. The triple warmer and spleen meridians are like a seesaw, and the more energy the triple warmer takes, the less energy that spleen meridian has. Both of these meridians are involved with immune response. So the triple warmer, as I said, is about our survival mechanism. It's about keeping us safe. The spleen meridian helps us to process stress. It metabolizes our food, our thoughts, and emotions. So stress disrupts this imbalance between the triple warmer and spleen meridian. Eden Energy Medicine helps to restore the balance by calming triple warmer and energizing the spleen, allowing you to shift from a survival mode into calmness and healing. So any questions right now about how stress affects us?
Nope.
Okay. So Eden Energy Medicine, in my mind, is probably one of the most phenomenal things that there is. Everything that we do, everything that I'm going to teach you today takes your two hands. You've got your two hands everywhere you go, and you can do these exercises anywhere, any time of the day. So Dr. Oz stated that the next big frontier in medicine is energy medicine. Nobel laureate in medicine stated that in every culture and in every medical tradition before ours, healing was accomplished by moving energy. And Donna Eden, who developed Eden Energy Medicine, stated that energy medicine is the oldest, safest, most available, most affordable medicine that there is. So our goal in Eden Energy Medicine is that stress is calmed, released, harmonized, and balanced. Some of you have heard of Einstein's famous theory of relativity, E equals mc squared. Donna's interpretation of that is energy is everything. And Albert Einstein also said that smart people manage their energy. So there are very simple techniques that work quickly and easily to make stress more manageable. I'm going to be teaching you 6 of those today. So what specifically is Eden Energy Medicine and the Eden Method? The Eden Method is a complete approach for helping the body's energy systems to flourish. So I'm going to read you 2 definitions. One is for those of you that are more right brain. This is Donna's definition. Energy is your body's magic. It is your life force. You keep your energy healthy and it keeps you healthy. If you are sick or sad, shifting those energies feels good. When you care for these invisible energies, it makes your heart sing and your cells happy. I can just hear Donna just being joyful and saying that. David Feinstein, who's Donna's husband, his left brain definition of Eden Energy Medicine is conventional medicine at its foundation focuses on the biochemistry of cells, tissues, and organs. Energy medicine at its foundation focuses on the energy fields of the body that organize and control the growth and repair of cells, tissues, and organs. Changing impaired energy patterns may be the most efficient, least invasive way to improve the vitality of organs, cells, and the psyche. In Eden Energy Medicine, we work with 9 energy systems to accomplish this. Some of you may have heard of some of these systems. Some of them are more ancient. A lot of them are from the Eastern traditions in medicine. So the first one, one of the ones we work with is meridians. And as I mentioned earlier, the Meridians are pathways. They're energy pathways that carry energy from one part of our body to another. We work with acupressure points in Eden Energy Medicine. We do not work with needles. We do not do acupuncture. We do acupressure. Another system that we work with is called 5 rhythms. Some people call it 5 elements. This is also from Chinese medicine. We work with the 5 elements. That's water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. We work with chakras. There's 7 primary chakras that people have. They're 1 through 7, also known as the root, chakra, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakras. We work with your aura that lets in good energy and keeps out bad energy. It's sometimes people call it the bubble that we have. And we work with the Celtic weave the Celtic weave is like a web that kind of holds all these systems together. We work with the electrics that helps to charge and connect all the other systems. The big electric systems that we work with in the body are the heart and the brain and the nervous system. Most people have heard of EKGs, that's measuring the electrical activity of the heart, and EEGs, that measures the electrical activity of the brain. We work with radiant circuits. They're also called strange flows. They're pathways, but they're not pathways that go from A to B. They may go from A to C, they may go from A to D. They go wherever they're needed, and they're very important in creating and maintaining joy for our bodies. We work with the basic grid. That is the basic structure that holds it all together. For example, like your skeletal system, your bones, that's where your muscles attach to. That's the support for your whole body. And the last one that we work with is called the triple warmer. And I mentioned that earlier. So the triple warmer is also a meridian, and it's also a radiant circuit, and it's also a separate and independent energy system. And again, that governs immune systems, our fight, flight, or freeze, and our survival. So some conditions that people would want to see an Eden Energy Medicine practitioner for would be to manage stress, anxiety, a weakened immune system, cancer, and the side effects of a cancer treatment. Just a side note, my brother has prostate cancer, and I'm helping him with a lot of the side effects of chemotherapy. His first cancer treatment, he thought, oh, this is going to be easy. There's no big deal. I don't need anything. And he really had a rough time after his first chemo treatment. He ended up needing IV fluids. He had severe nausea. He had severe headaches. And second chemo treatment, during his chemo, I did a treatment called the Brazilian toe technique. And that's really good for people going through chemotherapy. And he called me 2 days after the treatment was done, and his quote was, "This voodoo bleep really works." So he was a little bit like, yeah, I can't do any worse than the first time, but there was a huge, huge difference for him after I did that Brazilian toe technique for him. Other things that you use Eden Energy Medicine for are enhancing athletic performance, dealing with depression and grief, digestive problems, emotional distress, energetic imbalances, feeling stuck in old patterns, hormone imbalances, and physical pain. So Donna Eden, as I said, developed Eden Energy Medicine. She was, at age 16 already, she had multiple sclerosis and she had severe allergies. She progressed, she had 2 daughters, and at age 27, she had a heart attack. She was told by 5 Western medicine physicians that she didn't have long to live. She needed to get her affairs in order as all of her organs were breaking down. Donna can see energy and feel energy. And after the 5th doctor told her, you need to get your affairs in order, she says, So she ended up going home and just kind of resting her hands on her legs. And she noticed that her legs felt different after her hands had been on them for a few minutes. So she worked with all these energies and using herself as kind of like a guinea pig, she ended up developing Eden Energy Medicine. Within a few years of that devastating news that she needed to get her life affairs in order, she was almost completely cured. And she just celebrated her 81st birthday this year. So what is energy testing? Energy testing is something that we do in Eden Energy Medicine to find those energetic imbalances in the body. And since most of us cannot see or feel energy like Donna can, we have developed a way to test for certain things, and we have a long list of things that we can test for in Eden Energy Medicine to find out where those balances are and correct those. The goal of all Eden Energy Medicine is to correct any imbalances in your body to promote health and well-being. So there's several different types of tests that we can use. However, one of them that we're going to be using today is called a general indicator test. So what I'm going to have one of my volunteers do is come up and I'm going to test them. And we're going to have the arm straight out this way. I'm going to use 2 fingers and I'm going to press down on your arm. I'm going to have you say a true statement. My name is Jean, and and that arm should stay straight if you're saying a true statement. If I say, for example, my name is Albert Einstein, that arm should go down. Another way we can do it is to disrupt the energy in the muscle that supplies we can interrupt the energy that supplies the muscle to that supplies the energy to that muscle, and that should weaken that muscle. As I said, there's several different muscles that we can test, but this one is one that we often use called the general indicator test. So I'm testing the energy in the muscle, not the strength of the muscle. Most people can kind of power through it and hold a lot harder, but your goal is to hold this for the same amount of energy that it takes to say your true statement as it does to say your false statement. So can you come up and demonstrate the muscle testing, please? Okay, and I'm going to have you stand here. All right, and does it make a difference which arm I use?
Not really.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's use this one. Okay, so fingers out, and I'm just going to first of all press down. Okay, and say my name is Matt.
My name is Matt.
And hold. And say my name is Mickey Mouse.
My name is Mickey Mouse.
And hold. Okay. So it wasn't a big tell, but it was showing, so it's a little bit weaker that way. And then again, say my name is Matt.
My name is Matt.
And hold. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
I will have you come up a little bit later to do one other test. So the mission of Eden Energy Medicine is to teach you simple tools that will keep you healthy and strong, support your body's natural healing abilities, and bring about happiness that results when your life is in harmony with your deepest nature. So I'm on page 4 now of your handout, where I talk about spooning the feet. From here on in, every exercise that I teach you, I'm going to have the example up here as well as on your handout. So we've gotten to page 4 of your handout. So balancing and grounding are 2 really big things in Eden Energy Medicine. Donna Eden's daily energy routine, which there's a link to on page 4 of your handout, and I also have handouts at the back of the room of the whole written daily energy routine. So between spooning your feet and doing the DER, which is the daily energy routine, this helps your body to create a resilient pattern of balanced energy. Spooning your feet with a stainless steel spoon helps us to ground, and that stainless steel spoon needs to attract a magnet. So this spoon is not for a tasty treat. Instead, it is for your feet. To your body, the earth will attune if you use it morning, night, or afternoon. It should be stainless steel, so it has strong magnetic appeal. So if you think about a magnet, you're going to have the north and the south of the magnets connect. You cannot get the north and north together, and you cannot get the south and south together. So our body needs to have the correct, what we call polarity, the correct magnetic pull in order to be able to pull that energy up from the spoon. There needs to be enough ferrous material, iron, in that spoon that it connect with your feet and will be able to move that energy around. So the bottom of our feet act as an energy pump to pull up energy from the earth and feed it to the body. Our bodies are electromagnetic and the earth is electromagnetic. And if our feet don't have the correct polarity, electromagnetic pull, we're not going to be able to pull up that energy from the earth. So the best way to get that is to walk around barefoot outside. However, in Wisconsin, we're now getting to the point that we're not going to be able to walk around barefoot outside. So the next best thing is to use a stainless steel spoon. So this part right here is called K1. That's the beginning of your kidney meridian. And this is the beginning of all meridians, and it feeds the energy to the rest of your body. This meridian starts the whole meridians going. So I'm just going to show you how to spoon your feet, and we're just going to go back and forth over the feet, like so. You're going to go in a figure 8 pattern. The body loves crossovers and figure 8s. We're going to be learning a crossover exercise as well. That reinforces that, but I like to do figure 8s. So you don't have to do figure 8s. Make sure you get your toes, your heel, the ball of your foot. You can do the sides of your foot. You can do the top of your foot, but the big thing is to get the bottom of your foot. So there's so much research out there that says that talks about grounding. The first research study that was actually published in 1915, and research has shown that grounding has many benefits for our body. It decreases chronic fatigue, produces an overall improvement in health and quality of life. It has a healing effect on injured or sore muscles, reduces pain and inflammation. It can lower blood pressure in patients that have high blood pressure. It can help you sleep better and longer as it lowers cortisol levels. It increases immune response, accelerates wound healing. And they've even done a study on preemies. On my day job, I work in a neonatal intensive care unit, and they've done a study on premature babies that talks about how grounding can affect them. So they use an electrical grounding wire, but it has the same effect. They found that it increases the vagal tone and therefore increase the heart rate variability, all things that help preemies to self-regulate. They found a decrease in a disease called NEC, which is necrotizing enterocolitis. It can be life-threatening and have lifelong implications for preemies. Here is a chart that is from another article that was published in 2020 from Integrative and Lifestyle Medicine Strategies. Should include earthing and grounding, and it affects all of these areas of the body. And I'm just going to go through them. I will repeat just a little bit of this only because research has shown how very important grounding is. There's improved blood circulation, improved oxygen. It calms digestive upset and bloating. It regulates the hormonal systems. It balances bone calcium and decreases osteoporosis, reduces joint inflammation, decreases wound healing time, balances our autonomic nervous system, reduces stress, improves sleep, lowers blood pressure, reduces muscle pain and inflammation after exercise. It has an enhanced immune response, slows free radical damage associated with aging, and it calms chronic inflammatory response associated with autoimmune disease. And then one more review, and this I looked up specifically what it can do for older people, seniors. And again, some of these are repetitive, but I'm just going to say them in a different way because, again, grounding is so very important as a basis for all of the other eating energy methods to hold. Improve sleep. It can help with restorative sleep and decrease chronic fatigue. It reduces stress and anxiety, which can help improve mood. It has better heart health. Grounding can improve cardiovascular function and blood pressure. It also increases heart rate variability, as we saw in that preemie study, which is a measure of how well our body adapts to stress. There's an improved immune response. Again, reduced inflammation. Chronic inflammation is associated with almost all of the certainly chronic diseases, autoimmune diseases, and diseases of aging. It improves mood. It can increase serotonin levels, which can help regulate mood, appetite, and sleep. And then it has an improved gut health, which improves gut motility and can encourage healthy bowel movements. So does anyone feel ungrounded, have sore feet? Has anyone changed time zones recently? Feel lightheaded, unbalanced, or otherwise not aligned with your body? You're going to volunteer.
Okay.
So, all right. So we already qualified your muscle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slap the bottom of your feet. And other one. And other one. And arm out. And hold. Okay. And that was strong. I'm going to do another test for grounding. And I'm going to touch the second toes. And that's strong. Did that feel strong or weak?
Strong.
Okay. I'm going to do one more test for polarity. And hold. And hold. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. You can sit down. So what I tested for was 3 things. I tested to see if he was grounded. And that was the foot slap. And it seems like he was grounded. I tested his second toes. And that's grounding coming down. So we have grounding where we pull the energy up from the earth. We also have grounding where we ground into the earth, and they're like grounding rods that will help hold us up straight and keep us in good alignment. And then the last thing that I tested for was polarity when I tested the top of his head, and that tested strong, and we'd like it to test strong weak. So what that could mean is that for him, his energies are not, that his feet aren't the correct polarity in order to pull up that energy from the earth. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do is, we're going to spoon. So you can, it's best to do it on a bare foot. And I want you to think about both feet before you start. I want you to think about how your feet feel as before we start this. If there's any tingling or numbness or any sore feet or anything like that. So I'd like everyone to take off one shoe and a sock and spoon their feet. And again, we're just going to go all along the foot like this and spoon your foot for about a minute. On the sides, along the feet. All right. So, okay. So does anyone notice a difference in how one foot feels compared to the other foot? Okay. Sometimes what people feel is some people will notice that their foot feels a little bit more energetic. Sometimes it feels tingly, like we've got things moving there. And if you didn't feel anything, that's okay. But some people will definitely notice a difference between one foot and the other. So you can go ahead and spoon the other foot. I'm going to ask Matt to come up and again and check him and see if that helped. And arm out and hold and hold. Okay, and you're still strong, and that's okay. Thank you. We may need a little bit more spooning, or it could just be nerves from coming up in front of a classroom. Sometimes our bodies don't want to tell us information, and that's okay. If that would happen during an Eden Energy Medicine session, there's other ways that we can test and that we can talk to the body. Oh, and the other thing with spooning is if any of you travel a lot and change time zones, spooning is really helpful to help you become more grounded. Or if you are a pilot, this will be especially important for you. So before I go on to the exercises, does anyone have any questions about anything we've talked about so far? Stress, eating energy medicine, or grounding? Okay. I do have several articles here as well if anyone is interested. This one is especially good. It's called Grounding, the Universal Anti-Inflammatory Remedy, published in 2022. And it's more if you have a medical background, but there's pictures in here of wound healing and different MRI images of what the different blood flow is before and after grounding. They're pretty impressive. So I am going to teach you 6 exercises to help manage stress and anxiety. And I promise you will not break a sweat on any of them, and most of them you don't even have to get up off your chair for. I'm going to teach you the crossover shoulder pull, blowing out the venom, the forehead hold, the triple warmer smoothie, the heart chakra calming crossover, and tapping the triple warmer fear point. So we are now on page 5 on your handout. And the first one is called the crossover shoulder pull. This one is technically not specifically for stress. It is to help your energy start to cross over. And just like grounding is imperative that your body is grounded for some of these exercises to really take hold and help, your body needs your energies to cross over. Just like when you've seen that, the DNA helix of the energy crossing over, it's really important that the energies of your body cross over. Just like the right side of our brain controls the left side of our body, and the left side of our brain controls the right side of the body, the energies need to cross over in order to have everything kind of go into motion. So just the crossover shoulder pull helps for balance, increased energy, improves coordination, it improves the right and left brain functioning, and it's really important for kids or anyone with ADHD and that their energies are not crossing over. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia about 30 years ago, and back then nobody told me about this. It took me probably 2 years of being a client to consistently have my energies cross over. Being what we call homolateral, where the energies just go in a straight pattern, are really a big problem for people with any autoimmune or chronic health diseases. And back when I was diagnosed, they gave me prescription pain medication and muscle relaxants. And I take none of those today. I almost never even take an ibuprofen anymore. And I'm not going to say that I'm 100% cured when I am 90% better than I was 5 years ago. So this, again, as I talked about in the beginning, this has been so empowering for me to help take control of my own health. So what I'm going to do with each of these exercises is I'm going to demonstrate first, and then we're going to do them together as a group. So with the shoulder crossover pull, you're going to start in your shoulders. You're kind of going to dig in, and you're going to pull. You're going to come all the way down and across your body, and you're going to pull that energy off. And then you're going to hold the other side, and you're going to pull that energy off. And we're just going to do that for a while. Okay, so let's do that as a group. So we're going to pull up and across, and up and across. And we're going to do this several times. And again, I think the shoulders are a big place where people hold a lot of stress. And actually for me right now, it just feels good even just to dig that part in and continue to pull across your body. The crossover shoulder pull is one of the exercises in your DER. This is especially good to do if you're feeling unbalanced, if you have low energy, feel uncoordinated, to do that. And These exercises, you can do at any time during the day. It's if you're inclined to start doing the DER, which I would highly encourage. It's a good idea to kind of just pick a certain time of day to do it. You can probably do it in about 5 minutes. And then each of the exercises in my DER handout, it tells you specifically what they're for, and you can do them again at any time of the day. You can do parts of them at one time of the day and then finish them up later. Some of them I do a couple times a day. Some of them I only do once a day. Okay. So the next exercise that we're going to learn is called blowing out the venom. This is on page 5 of your handout. And this helps to release stress, anger, and pent-up emotions. When you do this, you want to think about whatever is stressful for you. Something that's frustrating you or getting you angry. So what you're going to do is you're just going to start out with your feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to bring your hands up and then make fists. And we're going to go bring your hands up and down and go like you're just getting rid of all that energy, those pent up emotions, and giving them to Mother Earth. We're going to do it again. And one more time. And then on the last one, we're going to do this really slow and push out the rest of that anger. And then at the end of this one, we're going to start at the pubic bone. We're going to come up our bodies slowly, and we're going to bring in fresh energy. And it's a good idea to say an affirmation of gratitude as we're coming up. Gratitude has been shown to decrease stress. And okay, so let's do this as a group. So we're going to start out again, feet shoulder width apart, hands up, make fists, and we're going to go. And again. And again. And then this last one, I'm going to come up. And again, we can make an affirmation of gratitude. I'm so happy I'm here with all of you today. Thank you for coming. And then bring that in. The next one, we're going on to page 6 of your handout, called a forehead hold. This helps to process and release stress associated with emotion. So the front of our brain is our thinking brain. It's our logical brain. The middle of our brain is our emotions, and the back of our brain is our gut reactions. It's our survival mechanism. It's our instinct. And a lot of things today are instinctual. We're still kind of back in those caveman days where we're fight, flight, or freeze. And but most of our stresses are not related to that. Our stresses are more like a printer jam, dropping your child off at school and they say, oh, by the way, I was supposed to bring the snack today, or having a deadline at work, or having too many emails to catch up on. So what I'd like everybody to do is think of something that is stressing them, and a stress that if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, that is between a 1 and a 4. I don't want people working on a level 10 stress today. And then as we do this, we're going to think about that stress, and that we're going to be able to process that. So this one's super simple. We're going to put one hand on our forehead and one hand in the back, and take several deep breaths and just think about that stress. And what should happen is that stress is going to go from that instinctual gut response to the front of the brain, where we're able to process that, the stress related with that emotion. So again, we're just going to hold our forehead for a bit. So does anyone notice a difference between now and after holding their foreheads? Okay. Right. So the next one we're going to talk about is called the triple warmer smoothie. And this one is also on page 6 of your handout. This is going to soothe that triple warmer stress meridian and calm anxiety. So this is one of those that we're going to be working with part of the pathway of that triple warmer meridian that I said starts at the ring finger, comes up the outside of the arm, up the shoulder, the back, and up to the temples. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hold our palms over our face, covering our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, going out to our temples. Come around the ears as you inhale. And then get to the shoulders, and then exhale. You're going to dig in again like we started with that crossover shoulder pull. Going to hang out here for a couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to bring our hands to our hearts. Okay. And all of these exercises that I'm teaching you today, you can teach to kids. A lot of things kids will think are fun exercises or to do with that. I should have said with that crossover shoulder pull. You can do that on kids' backs. I know a lot of people who parents with young kids, and they'll just cross over on their backs, and it's kind of a fun game. Same thing for this. We can just kind of play a game of close your eyes, let's do this and do that. Those kind of exercises. So again, we're going to start with our palms on our face and our fingers covering our eyes. We're going to inhale deep. Exhale, going out to our temples. Inhale, going around our ears to our shoulders. And then exhale. And then take a couple of deep breaths here. Again, you can kind of work those shoulder muscles. And then we're going to bring our hands to our heart. And take another deep breath. And all of these exercises you can do at any point during the day. If you have a interaction at work, or a bad drive somewhere, or a traffic jam, you're stuck in traffic, you can just do that. Obviously just keep your eye on the light, but some of these things you can just do, especially the last one that I'm going to teach you is something that you can do easily. The next exercise is on page 7 of your handout, the heart chakra calming crossover. This is going to soothe your heart chakra. It's going to calm your central meridian, support clarity, and reduce stress. Donna likes to call this the butterfly. So this one is super simple. We're going to cross our arms, put our hands on our armpits with our thumbs facing forward, and let's do this together. We're just going to hang out here, and we're going to take some deep breaths. So we talked a little bit about the spleen meridian in the beginning, and this exercise, the spleen meridian comes through here, and we're going to be holding part of that spleen meridian, and it just sometimes feels good. You can again, you can do this at any point during a day. It's something that you can teach kids to do, and just kind of hang out here. And the last exercise I'm going to talk about is called tapping the fear point. And that's also on that same page of the handout. Tapping the triple warmer fear point. This also soothes that triple warmer stress meridian, calms anxiety, and releases fear. I know this works in the whole heat of the moment. When I was an early energy medicine student, and I didn't know nearly as much as I know now. I knew there was this thing where we tapped this point, and my brother's girlfriend found out that she had had money stolen from her, and she was so upset. She was literally shaking. She was just shaking with anxiety. And I'm like, okay, let's just do this. And I didn't have the sequence right, you know, what is I'm going to teach you, but we just stood there tapping, and she was literally shaking. She was so anxious. We did this together for about 2 to 3 minutes, and she was like a different person afterwards. But I'm going to teach you the correct sequence right now. So you're going to take your left hand and put it on your heart, and we're going to tap 10 times in this point right between the pinky finger and your ring finger. This is again known as the gamut point. If anyone is familiar with EFT or emotional freedom technique or tapping, this is the gamut point. But again, this follows that triple worm meridian. Again, left hand on your heart. We're going to tap our fingers in through here. We're going to count to the tap of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a deep breath, and then we're going to tap through 3 deep breaths. Okay, so let's do this as a group. Again, left hand on our heart. We're going to be tapping in through this point right here 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Deep breath, and then 3 deep breaths in again and tap through that whole time. If you're still having some fear or anxiety, you can do it with the other side in the same sequence for that. So this is the end of our exercises. So we talked about what stress and anxiety do to our bodies. We talked a little bit about what eating energy medicine is and what it can help. We talked about grounding and how important that is. To use your spoon, and that spoon is yours to keep. It's a good idea to spoon at least a minute on each foot, and morning and evening is best. We talked about, you heard a lovely poem about a spoon, which you won't hear anywhere else. And then you learned 6 exercises. I'm just going to show you those briefly again. So we talked about the crossover shoulder pull, which starts here and goes this way. We did blowing out the venom, which feet shoulder width apart, hands like this, 3 times, and the 4th time we're going to go slowly. And then we're going to come up, make an affirmation of gratitude if you like. I'm so happy that you're here today. We did the forehead hold. Again, just thinking about that stress and making it into a logical response instead of that fight, flight, or gut reaction in the back brain moves it to the front brain. The triple warmer smoothie, where we start out deep breath in, exhale, inhale, exhale, a couple of deep breaths, and then inhale at the heart. We learned the heart, the butterfly hold for your heart chakra. Just hang out with deep breaths. And then the last one was the tapping the fear point, left hand on the heart, 10 taps. Deep breath, and then 3 deep breaths in as you continue tapping, and you can do it on the other side. Does anyone have a favorite technique that they learned today? Is that a no? That's funny. Does anyone feel any different than when they arrived? Cool, good to hear. So I hope that you have a better understanding of how stress and anxiety affect us and have learned some simple techniques to manage it. I'm going to leave you with one final quote about the mission statement for Eat Energy Medicine. It is about raising the vibration of the planet one person at a time. I do have 3 other talks that I'm working on that I will be available for on immunity, pain, and hormones. I have a private office where I do private sessions, and my business cards are in the back. I'm also doing a health and wellness expo this weekend on Sunday the 20th. If you'd like to stop by my booth. And you can check under your chairs. Someone has a sign that says chicken dinner because you're the winner. And I have Donna Eden's Energy Medicine book for you. And any questions before I close up? Okay. I will stay around if anyone has any questions. Here's all of my contact information. This is the Eden Method website, their Facebook group, my information, my phone number, my email, and this is the practitioner website through the Eden Energy site. So thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Now you clap.